Joining us now from Washington is U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services, Kathleen Sibelius. Madam Secretary, good morning.
Good morning, Chris. How are you?
Good. So we're the 43rd country to use these labels as a deterrent. I guess the big question is, why did it take so long?
Well, I think that's a very good question. The good news is that Congress finally passed a tobacco regulation bill in 2009. President Obama signed it, and we've been underway since then to implement long overdue safety warnings, crack down on advertising, really to make sure that America's young people don't start smoking. We have about 4,000 people under 18 every day who try their first cigarette, and about 1,000 of them become permanent smokers, and that's just not good for our country.
So is that where this is really targeting? It's targeting our nation's youth, the kids that are easily, I guess, very impressionable at this young age?
Well, what we know is that we did a pretty good job lowering the rates of young and adult smoking, but we've been stalled since about 2004. So this is really aimed at making sure kids don't start in the first place, that cigarettes are really gross, they're not cool, they can kill you. 443,000 people a year die prematurely, but also to make sure that adults who want to stop, we give them some help. So the graphic warnings also contain the 1-800-QUIT number to make a case to adults that it's never too late to stop smoking.
Yeah. Are you concerned about lawsuits at all?
Well, I think that tobacco companies have been litigating every step along the way. We anticipate that they will continue to litigate as this new effort to improve our nation's health continues. But this follows the law. We are confident that we are well within the boundaries of what was allowed by the law. And it, as I say, is long overdue. We spend about $200 billion a year, Chris, $200 billion on health-related costs and loss of productivity due to smoking. And we're killing way too many young Americans and adult Americans. So this is a real health crisis and something that we can do something about. We know the research shows that these graphic warning labels are effective, and it's time for America to join the rest of the world and crack down on smoking.
And I guess my next question would be, it's going to be at least 15 months before these packages are changed to include these pictures. Again, not knowing what production and all that comes into play. Why is it going to take so long? Why do you have to wait another 15 months?
Well, there is a lot of cigarettes already in the inventory, and what the FDA tried to do was to make sure that we didn't necessarily confiscate all the existing inventory and have companies have to throw that away, but give them warning and say by October of 2012, within 15 months of the final rule, you must have these new warnings, and ideally they will be in production before then. So we will take this very seriously. We're trying to have a balance between the cigarette companies needing to change the labels, needing that time to ramp up the new production, the new graphic warning labels, but being very serious. These will now not only be on cigarette packs, they'll be on every advertisement for cigarettes. They'll have to be, we will accompany them with billboards and a PSA campaign, and clearly we'll be able to use the graphic warnings in advance of them appearing on packs.
Yeah, well, they're pretty graphic, that is for sure. Madam Secretary, thank you.
They are
we appreciate
indeed.
you taking the time this morning.